we did last night, make a couple things clear. Number one, no one talked about your family in the comments, not from Deron or myself. So I don't know why you bringing it up, trying to get empathy. You keep bringing up old stuff like you tell us we bringing up old stuff. We didn't bring up nothing about your family. So why would you even throw that in there? That is sad that you got to bring up stuff like that again. Let's get that clear. So we didn't bring up nothing about your family. We was talking about the scriptures. All right? Look over the video, folks. No one mentioned anything about his family. So, Deron asks, what's his name? Cox about the day of the Lord. And Cox didn't know. Now, that's sad. The man been there 30 years plus and don't know the day of the Lord. But you guys would say, I didn't know who wrote the book of Acts. The book of Acts, not knowing the book of Acts does not define me or my salvation with the Lord. But not knowing the day of the Lord, that's very, very important. You not informed, and you can't inform nobody if you don't know the day of the Lord. And I didn't say to you, St. Louis, that you didn't know the day of the Lord. You just gave the wrong answer with the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is not the rapture. The church is not going to heaven and then come back. What you call the day of Christ is the fulfillment, the judgment of Christ. There is no day of Christ is the judgment of Christ. Christ is only coming back one time, a second time, one time only. What he does do, he has the church. So we're going to do a video about that with scripture. I'm just letting you know that rant that St. Louis came up with yesterday, you know, trying to take it personal, you know, all them personal shots. There you go again with that stuff. You know, it's but you talk about, let's talk about scripture. We was talking about scripture yesterday. Deron asked you a question. You gave your answer. He asked Cox a question. He couldn't answer the question. And you say St. Cox shut his mouth. Cox sat there looking dumbfounded. 30 plus years. And he can't understand what the day of the Lord is. And you trying to say it's the rapture. And then Deron read scripture to you guys. Matthew 24 tell you that the Lord ain't coming till after tribulation. On your little chart that you showed, that don't mean anything. It's just a chart. Jesus don't show up till after the tribulation. You have no scripture, and the chart you showed don't show no scripture. That's just your opinion about your opinion about the rapture. You ain't come up with no words, and we don't have to debate everything. Everything is not a debate. Show scripture that Jesus is going to come before the great tribulation. You can't, because Deron read it. He will show up after the great tribulation, not before. He's not gathering nobody to take them to heaven before a great tribulation or tribulation start. So while you talking, show scripture. Deron read scripture. Y'all looked at dumbfounded, you and Cox. That's why you try to get out of it. I want to debate. I want to debate. Debates don't show anything. The debates y'all have behind debates. You see, Cox got real quiet. Couldn't answer the question. But at least he was man enough to say, I don't know. And in the comment box, I did say, y'all following them two guys, y'all in trouble. So I want some book, chapter, and verse that the day of the Lord, according to what I read, is talking about the rapture. Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not a word named rapture in the Bible, but the rapture word don't mean going to heaven with the church. That don't mean that. That's some man-made, made up stuff. The day of the Lord is when he comes to take down his words. The first resurrection of his saints. It's the first resurrection. And those guys meet him in the sky. First Thessalonians 4 is not going to, they're not going to heaven. They're going, only part of heaven they're going to make, they're going to leave the first heaven, which is earth, to go to the second heaven, which is the clouds. They're never going to make it to the third heaven with the Father. No one's going to the third heaven where the Father and Jesus are right now. Jesus is going to leave the third heaven. You read that in First Thessalonians 4. Go read it yourselves. He's coming down to meet them. They're going to meet in the air. And you forevermore be the Lord. They didn't say evermore be the Lord in heaven. They coming down to fight the war Armageddon. They're going to take down this world and all them fake doctrines that y'all putting out here. All this bad doctrine. That's what the Lord going to do. No one's going to heaven. Never, ever going to go up there. Jesus told you he's the only one that been there. He went. He came from there and he went back. That's where he's at right now, on the right hand of God. That's why Cox don't know what he's talking about. He's telling you he's not up there, but he is up there. And you going to say Cox shut his mouth? You congratulate him? That's sad. How you going to congratulate somebody like that didn't know what the day of the Lord was? Like I said, Luke, not knowing Luke wrote the book of Acts, so what? That has not going to mess with my salvation, but not knowing, again, not knowing that the day of the Lord and what it is, and what you say, like you said, St. Louis, you didn't say you didn't know, but you did say that it was the rapture. So you might as well say you didn't know, because it's not the rapture. First Thessalonians 4 is not the rapture, and Matthew rebukes that. You saying, I gotta ask a question for all his viewers when y'all listen to this. If God's taking the church, if the First Thessalonians 4 is the rapture of the church to protect them from the great tribulation before it starts, y'all hearing me? Why would he resurrect the dead? They safe in the ground. Why are you taking the dead out of the ground to take them back to heaven? Only the living should go up to be protected from the rapture. I mean, from the great tribulation and his wrath. See, y'all don't know, y'all ain't read this book. Y'all have no idea. If y'all need to read Habakkuk, Habakkuk tells you, let him be dead during his wrath. That's what Habakkuk talks about in the Great Tribulation. Job talks about they want to be in the grave. Have me in the grave. They don't want no parts of the Great Tribulation or his wrath. So why is he digging people out, raising up people out of a grave that's sitting there nice and tight and safe? This is what happens when y'all deal with that funny doctrine, all these funny books y'all reading and all over the place. You have no idea what y'all saying. But I'm not here trying to fix y'all. This is for the people that listen to you all. All you raptured people, he's not taking the dead people out of the ground to take them to heaven to make them safe. They already safe. Read Habakkuk. Read Job. And on the next video I come up, we're going to have the scripture to show you that they ask you to stay in the grave. They tell you, I want to be dead. Habakkuk and Job. I have some scripture for it next time I come back. Okay? To show you that these two people are talking about being dead. He even tells Daniel to stay, it's not your time to know certain things. Go rest. Daniel won't be here for the rapture. I mean, for the great tribulation. He's not pulling Daniel. He's pulling no one's coming out of their grave until after great tribulation, which is the first resurrection. And that's going to start the war. That's going to kick off the war Armageddon. That's Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14 is the day of the Lord, which is the first resurrection. So all them charts y'all come up with, the 7-year tribulation, that's all hogwash. So St. Louis, it don't matter what you say, bro, about me or Duran. And I didn't go to Monroe, Louisiana with a camera crew, which is me and my brother, to record that guy. Remember, you went yourself. Did you get a debate with Geno Jennings? Maybe you wanted some airtime. Maybe you wanted to be seen on TV. You said you went there and you couldn't get there, so why are you talking about me going there? I went there twice. I got invited by Geno Jennings. I gave you the audio that I told you Tony Harvin gave to me. Me and my wife went there, and Geno Jennings rejected me or didn't show up. And from that, Tony Harvin debated me in August of 2018. And I smashed him. He hid the video. He had to take the video down. He can't show that video. I made him look so stupid. But this ain't about Tony Harvin. My story stays the same. I'm not going to be flim-flamming like you. I don't need to tell no lies. So, yeah, I went to Monroe, Louisiana to debate Geno Jennings, but he didn't want to debate. And I didn't have no camera crew, just my brother. That was it. To document the stuff that, if you don't document nothing with Geno Jennings, we came there not concealing a camera like you conceal your phone calls. You know, we showed while we were there to debate that false prophet, as you call it. And I'm here to show you that you're a false prophet and deceiving and a deceiver. So get your facts straight, brother. So you stop putting stuff out there. All right, I'm going to sign off this, and we'll come back with some script. Y'all have a good day.